In our world, the sad reality is that money is king. It's why we get up to go to a job we hate every day. It's how we evade the realities of starvation, and if we have a little money left over from life's depressing expenses, we tend to buy something that will bring us at least a little bit of joy. For some, it's dinner and a movie, or maybe it's a lavish trip to an exotic location, or maybe it's just getting home from work and sitting down to play a good video game that helps you escape into a fictional world. Much like us as everyday people, companies too consistently seek money from their marketable consumer bases so that they can expand, evolve, and unfortunately give a large sum of money to a CEO that cares very little about the state of their company, like their moral practices that they're indulging in, or their public standing, unless at the end of the day it's affecting their bottom line. The bottom line that they'll never reach because they're so goddamn rich. Not all companies are like this. Some companies put in the work and strive for greatness, not only releasing products that stand out from the rest, but these companies aren't afraid to take their time to give their fans something special. And when the team is passionate about something, it shows. Gaming is best when it's developed by people that are making games that they want to play. However, some developers have proven time and time again that their main prerogative is the generation of income through means of very little innovation or creative passion, and that often just skirts the line of hard work. Activision is a company that uses its name and its Call of Duty brand to rake in profits every year, while often reluctantly putting in work to make each entry unique, or, how can you when you release a title every year? Despite the company having 3 reputable studios consistently working on new Call of Duty entries, many of them lack true innovation in favor of replicating the same gameplay loop, the same grind, and the same maps. Because if you've kept up with Call of Duty at all in your lifetime, you'll know that the reuse of old content is practically a main feature. Now, all of this is coming from someone that has played almost every Call of Duty game. Maybe not every Call of Duty game at launch, but I've played almost all of them outside of Ghosts. Every so often, one will blow me away because about every 5 games or so, they actually tend to innovate. The first game to really blow me away was Black Ops 2 with its elaborate, well-done campaign with choices, and then the multiplayer was kick-ass, and the zombie offering was fucking awesome. Then came perhaps one of the most hated Call of Duties of all time. Actually, I'm pretty sure it is just the most hated Call of Duty of all time, and that is Infinite Warfare. A game that I love. I still love to this day because it truly felt unique. It felt unlike anything Call of Duty had done before, like they were taking a big risk. Its presentation was awesome, and it had a campaign full of variety, and it was much needed. The last game to really do this for me, blow me away, was Modern Warfare 2019. It revamped the gameplay, it revamped the story, and the presentation was incredible, bringing together a package that felt different. COD finally had slowed down a little bit from its crazy high-octane action of sliding around everywhere, and it offered new gameplay mechanics like mounting. I finally started to believe in Call of Duty again, because Modern Warfare 2 I really liked, until, well, Modern Warfare 3 was announced, because this is perhaps the worst value for money anyone is getting from a COD game, and a pathetic attempt at releasing a product that is so-called labored with love. Despite what anyone says on the internet, no, it was not said by the developers or Activision, but you can tell that Modern Warfare 3 is a glorified expansion from Modern Warfare 2 disguised as a fully featured game with a 3-hour early access campaign and 20 maps at launch that are all remakes that were supposed to be released during Modern Warfare 2's life cycle. Keep in mind that this game is a full-priced AAA game that will have nothing new at launch aside from weapons. But hey, everything you have in Modern Warfare 2 will carry over, so that's all that really matters, right? Because we really need those microtransactions to come over so we can just keep buying them. Modern Warfare 2's campaign was one of high-octane action. It had slow-paced cinematic stealth missions and atmospheric infiltration missions, and I thought it was a well-written story that had an overall runtime at about 6 to 8 hours depending on the difficulty you played. It tried to implement new mechanics that were interesting, like the backpack and crafting, even though they seemed kind of more like a gimmick for a couple of missions, instead of being something that you had to rely on throughout the campaign. But it also introduced more open-ended missions that let you have some freedom in how you handled certain obstacles despite them being a little limited. And I think they did a good job of having these open-ended missions while also not taking away the cinematic restrictiveness that these games are kind of known for. Modern Warfare 3's big achievement is that it places most of its missions in large open areas that takes away the cinematic feel. For whatever reason, they thought that that was gonna be a good idea. It's such a shame to see a massive difference in quality between entries when the last 3 games all had campaigns that range within the 6 to 8 hour sweet spot, which I think is a good length for a Call of Duty game. I think it's apparent now that Activision have made it clear that they care way more about seeing money through microtransactions than publishing a product that they can be proud of. The numbers really don't lie. They made over $1 billion in just the 4th quarter of 2022 off just microtransactions alone. So yeah, when you look at those numbers, why would you really put effort into campaigns and products? Because after launch, campaigns don't make you any money. And they've pretty much monopolized the market around these games, so they're only really rivaled by Fortnite, and Fortnite lives off of microtransactions, and I don't support the normalization of microtransactions. They, however, at least have cool in-game events, and it's free to play, whereas Modern Warfare 3 isn't. Yes, Warzone is free, but you're missing part of the experience that is Modern Warfare 3. It's quite honestly disgusting that a company this big is putting in this little effort and they are getting away with it. I really feel bad for all those people that spent their hard-earned money to get early access to proof that COD is becoming a joke again. If you love these games for the multiplayer, then you're undoubtedly going to have a good time with it. You know how I know that? Because it's essentially the same game with some tweaks that they could have added in Modern Warfare 2 in an update easily. I don't usually make these videos, but I'm just so sick of multi-billion-dollar companies doing this shit and getting away with it like it's okay. Especially when they have both the manpower and the money to throw at a project that could truly blow everybody away and raise their expectations up. But they aren't a company built on taking big risks, obviously. And that there is the problem. Activision is just a disgrace to modern gaming.